Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News. Please remember to like the video and make sure you're still subscribed. For those of you who may be interested, I put out a single today from the record that I'm doing. Doing a climate change record that is supposed to be released on Earth Day. And just kind of put a single out for the record just to kind of get some kind of momentum going. I actually made a post about it in the community section, in the YouTube community section, or you can go on my Facebook page or Instagram page or whatever and check it out. Hello, how you doing? Poppy Davis, John Lungfist, Cindy Seeley. Greetings. Come on in. How is everybody faring in self-isolation? Everybody good? Everybody going crazy? Everybody nonplussed? Excited? Productive? Not productive? Getting fat? Getting skinny? What are y'all doing? TCR Galaxy. Hello. And TCR Galaxy says Boeing had a supervisor die from the you-know-what. They just shut down the Everett plant for 14 days. My father-in-law has worked there for 32 years. It's pretty major. Indeed. Boeing stock halted today? Wow. Yeah, it was not a good day on the stock market, or in the stock market, however you want to say it. Let's look at that a little bit. Dow skids down more than 500 points as Fed efforts overshadowed by rising U.S. pandemic cases. Fed says it would buy assets in the amounts needed to support smooth market functioning. I love the wording of that, don't you? That was smooth market wording right there. You mean paper over the gushing wound with all the gauze at your disposal, hoping to staunch the bleeding. That's what you mean. But the way they put it, buy assets in the amounts needed to support smooth market functioning. Yes. Sounds very peaceful and easy. You know what I'm saying? Sounds really smooth and easy. U.S. stocks slumped Monday as investors focused on the economic damage from the rapidly spreading bug, looking past the Federal Reserve's announcement that there was no limit to its bond purchases. The central bank's no limit to its bond purchases. No limit. The central bank's unscheduled announcement, but somehow there's a limit on the money you can send to people. That's the thing. How are you going to pay for it? Because, there's a limit or something. Or whatever. The central bank's unscheduled announcement comes as investors remain unhappy with the lack of government action to address the fallout from the crisis. Dow Jones down 2.9%. S&P down 2.8%. We'll call both of those 3. NASDAQ Composite down 1.2. Weakness in equities confirmed the bearish overnight action on futures markets. All 3 index futures had hit their 5% daily limit at the open of trade. Yeah. Which began at 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday. Futures index. So They hit their limits yesterday already. Futures index moves that are greater than 5% trigger so-called limit up and limit down rules. And it's important to note the New York Stock Exchange is going all electronic on Monday, marking the first time the exchange will operate without floor traders. Okay, well that makes sense, right? Right. The Fed unleashed its most aggressive action to date in saying it would purchase an unlimited amount of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities as needed in order to support smooth market functioning and effective transmission of monetary policy. The Fed had previous set a $700 billion limit for asset purchases. Well, so you know it's way beyond. The U.S. Central Bank also launched and expanded several emergency lending facilities to prop up markets for corporate credit, municipal debt, and asset-backed securities. You see how quickly they're doing this? You see how quickly they are doing this. Do you see that this doesn't actually take going to Congress and passing a bill and having some kind of debate about this? Nope. Not at all. You know why? Because that's by design. After the 2008 crash, they figured out a way to just make it so that they can just inject money into the market without going to Congress, without having to get approval, without having to ask anybody, do we need to do this? Nope. Just go ahead and do it. And then the Fed, set a limit, $700 billion. And they were like, no, oh, wait, hold on. No limit. Sorry. Take that back. Take backsies. Each time the Fed comes out with more stimulus, the bounce in the markets has been short-lived, said Randy Frederick, managing director of trading and derivatives at Schwab Center for Financial Research. Schwab. I saw the Fed's actions. They're going to have to Schwab a whole lot of dookie pretty soon. I saw the Fed's actions as sort of a blank check. Do you think so? If that's not enough. Markets are still worried about the spread of the bug. Investors also noted that an important Senate vote on the bug rescue package failed to gain significant traction. The vote was 47-47, but needed 60 votes to proceed. Senate Democrats voted against starting a 30-hour clock toward a vote. So it's hung up. It's hung up for good reason, because the Republican bill is, it's something, but it's not nearly enough. It's heavy on the corporate bailouts and very light on the people bailout. So the Democrats are fighting for something better, and that, for good reason. For good reason. As much as it sucks that they're holding it up, I think that they should actually hold it up, because they should hold it up and make it look like it's the GOP's fault and Donald Trump's fault, and basically arm wrestle them, right? Because if this goes into midweek and there's no agreement, and they're like, look, give the people, just make a big fat headline on CNN, give the people more, more, and the banks less, and then we'll agree, and make Trump and the GOP look like the pieces of dookie that they are. Although, not all the Democrats are on board with giving people giving people all the stimulus that they might need. Not all of them. St. Louis Fed James Bullard told Bloomberg News during a Sunday interview that he's forecasting the U.S. unemployment rate to hit 30% in the coming months as the world continues to grapple with the bug. Steve Mnuchin said he is working on efforts to help small businesses that have been hammered by state and city closures due to the viral outbreak. He urged Congress to pass the $2 trillion economic relief bill. It's now $2 trillion. So yeah, that's going on. What's up with Boeing? Hold on, Boeing. Boeing shut down Puget Sound production for 2 weeks. Boeing just said it's halting production. They will halt production. Wait. They said, we'll keep our employees, customers, and supply chain top of mind as we continue to assess the evolving situation. All right. Yeah, so they're they're shut down. Other companies are actually ramping up some production of much needed medical supplies. Tesla being one of them, I believe. Let's see if I can get that. Tesla, Apple, and other California companies stepping up to produce medical supplies. Ford, GM, Tesla given the go-ahead to produce ventilators. GM, Tesla tackle ventilator shortage amid coronavirus pandemic. So the Defense Production Act being put into play. There you go. We got automakers channeling their production facilities into making useful products. That's good. That's good for the moment. Anyways, I'm going to go through the chats and say hello. Audrey Cermak. This is a petition to have student debt canceled. Signed. Audrey. Signed. Guyo Smith, Boeing gone. Kent Deal, big snow coming tomorrow. Okay. CB Unglesby, West Virginia can arrest you if you're out for no reason as of 8 p.m. tomorrow, per the general. Okay. That's a little frightening. I've seen other places putting something like that into effect. I saw something about San Jose doing something like that. The police are out enforcing, a stay-at-home order. Natural Progressive, I'm going to donate my N95 masks to my local clinic when I go in tomorrow. First case confirmed in my small town. Good on you, Natural Progressive. Osama, what's up? Tesla making high torque ventilators. Indeed. Christian Sorensen, hi all. Yeah, we're scroomed. I like that, scroomed. CB Unglesby, friends in Cape Breton having concerts online, a lot of fun. Yeah, There's been a lot of that going on, which is cool. I think I'm probably going to do something like that in the next couple days. I've just been kind of like figuring out how to deal with life in general. But trying to do more music, balance the music and the BBN somewhat. I'm also in the middle of recording a record, so there's not a lot of time for me to just kind of set up the live streams, but it is what it is. Basil Peterson, been snowing here for the last 12 hours. Dana Patterson, how you doing? Vancouver Island was just told it has escaped containment and now has community spread. You like my bird calls, Gaio? I appreciate that. Olympics postponed. Wow, I didn't see that. Wow. Thanks, TCR Galaxy. Hold on. That's fairly big. Wish I would have seen that before I started this. Before I started this live stream. Wow. Well, so wait a minute. I'm getting confusing information. Okay. So one article only 40 minutes ago says pressure is rising to postpone the Olympics, but an article an hour ago says the Tokyo Olympics will be postponed. Well, hold on. Let's go to that. IOC finally postponing Olympics because of a bug. a little bug. Sign up. Let's see. So they're pushing back the 2020 Olympics. Man, oh man. They will be postponed. And probably won't happen until 2021. Man. Well, there you go. There you go. Another win for the environment, at least for the short term. So sad to hear about the Olympics, but it was probably going to be pretty problematic considering the high humidity and heat happening in Japan as of late, as of the last couple of years. So, maybe a blessing in disguise. Yes, had Velmer. Yes, I'm not saying it's actually been working. If I just don't say the word, my videos tend to stay monetized. So I thought I'd try it out, and it's true. It's working. So yeah, this bad situation for humans is actually, actually a pretty good situation for the environment. That's kind of how that goes. If anything pushes humans back a little bit away from their encroachment on the environment, well, we'll call that a silver lining. CB Unglesby was at a store in Charleston, West Virginia. I was the only one with a mask. Yeah, I've been noticing that too, man. I have my scarf that I'm using. If I go out into the store, I'll walk into the store with my scarf on, and everybody's looking at me like, "What? Whoa, you have a scarf on your face." I'm like, "Yeah. Where's your mask? Are you guys wearing gloves? What are you guys doing?" Christian Sorensen. Yeah, I don't know if the lag is on your end or not. I'm not sure. It's typically a little bit laggy, but I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry, just trying to go through these chats a little bit. Dana Patterson cheering on the environment. Indeed. Go environment. Yeah, I know. It's fairly sucky, but I think that anybody that cares about climate change or cares about the biosphere could actually be a little bit happy for the biosphere right now. So I'm happy for the biosphere. It sucks for humans, but that is kind of the trade-off. You know, I'm not cheering on the suckiness for the humans. I'm just cheering on for the biosphere. Natural Progressive. My husband wore his scarf today. Yeah. Yeah, I've got my scarf, going on. I feel like I should probably have gloves too, but I haven't gotten there yet. But probably will break out my gloves for the next trip out. And then I don't really care. I'll just be like, I don't know what who that was or what that was. Anyways. Jody Connolly, good question. Is our survivability our Achilles heel? I don't know. I mean, I'd have to say there's a little bit of a, right? There's a direct correlation between, our insistence on surviving or expanding or, making sure that we, save ourselves at any cost, right? So our survivability, yeah, actually ends up, impinging on the environment, which then impinges on our survivability. So there you go. We can't think past the first, the first whatever you want to call it, the first marker. If we thought it all the way through, we would maybe have a different. Moose Man, thank you. I like that. Christian Sorensen, I'll take it. I'm Moose Man. If I get some little fake horns, that would be even cooler. It would be really scary. People who don't care about CV, I think, only care about themselves. TCR Galaxy, Dominator culture needs to go. Yes. Proudhon, deaths dropped in Italy for the second day. German public health minister says they have flattened the curve. That's good news. Yeah, and and there you go. For all the super panicky people, and I'm not making fun of you. I'm just, be afraid, be very afraid. Take all the precautions, please, because you don't want to get sick, and you do not want to be a person that ends up on, the ventilator. So seriously, you don't want to do that, because if you get to that point, you're highly fucked. Let me just, be very straight up about that. You are super fucked if you get to that point. But here's another bit of a silver lining, though, is that, there are countries where it kind of hit first, and they had a ramp up in cases, and they, now they're kind of going their way, definitely back down the other side. China, one of those countries. South Korea, one of those countries. And South Korea, very few deaths. Am I reading that right? Maybe not. Germany, also very few deaths. In conjunction with the amount of cases they had. Germany, whatever Germany is doing, they're doing it very well. U.S. The U.S. has a lot of cases. They have 26,000, a few more than Germany. I know that some places like New York City seem to be evolving, cases rapidly. We have 47 new deaths yesterday, 349 total. But in relation to how many total cases there are, the U.S. has not had that as many, it seems like, deaths. But maybe I'm wrong. Because, Spain has 28,000 deaths. 28,000 cases, almost 2,000 deaths. The U.S., 26,000 cases. So minus 2,000 cases from Spain. But we only have 349 deaths. So whatever is I don't know why. That doesn't seem to make any sense because our response has been all over the place and not very good at all. But for whatever reason, we're not experiencing that many deaths. But there could be other factors involved. So let me not, I'm not trying to say that I know what's going on in each particular case. I have no idea. I'm just reading you the numbers. Iran also quite a few deaths in relation to the number of cases they have. And they're still gaining. They gained 1,000 new cases. We gained 2,000 new cases. Germany, 765 new cases. Spain, 3,000 new cases. So Spain looks like they're the new. Italy was hit extremely, very bad. So Italy again too has more deaths compared to cases than China. So 53,000 cases, 4,000, almost 5,000 deaths. So Italy not faring well. Iran not faring well. But I can't actually see any. I can't see the information on new cases in Italy, so I don't know what's going on. And again, this is not good news either. So, of closed cases, so meaning the amount of cases that have either recovered or expired, we have 14% death rate. That's not pretty. Proudhon says the fact that China and South Korea are going down puts the lie to the flawed Imperial College study, which says millions of deaths in 18-month lockdown. Yeah, if responded to properly, that's not going to happen. We're at 16,000 deaths worldwide, and I don't, we can debate whether those are true numbers or not. Whatever, we can debate whether those are true numbers or not. But if countries all over the world take as much precaution as possible and do what they need to do, we're not going to see 1 million deaths from this. That's not going to happen. Unless we get some kind of crazy second wave of this. So, but, that's not to say that you shouldn't take it seriously. That's the point of taking it seriously is so that you keep it from spiraling out like that. So that's the point. You take the precautions, you do what is necessary so that it doesn't, turn into 1 million deaths. Okay. So that's why everybody's doing what they're doing. That's why all of this is happening, so that we prevent, an out of control pandemic. Yeah. So Chris Martinson is incorrect. Could is the operative word. 10 million in the U.S. Okay, could, if we did absolutely nothing. If we just sat around and went, okay, you know, but we're not doing nothing. That's not what we're doing. That and 10 million deaths is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous number. Chris, I mean, I'm sorry. I like Chris Martenson, but he's playing on people's panic in order to get views. I'm sorry. I'm straight up telling you that. He's a very smart person. I really like him a lot. He's pushing your panic button so that you keep watching his videos and buying his shit and buying his stuff. Sorry. He's panic selling is what he's doing. And I'm a little bit, I think that's a little bit screwed up, It's cool to make people aware, but it's not cool to tell people that there's going to be 10 million people dying. 16,000 total worldwide deaths. Okay? 16,000 total worldwide deaths. That's not anywhere near a million. That's not even 100,000. That's not even 100,000. We're on the far side of 100,000. So 10 million deaths is ridiculous. It's stupid. That's Jesus, please. And I really actually wish he wouldn't do that because that's pretty messed up. Because he's scaring the shit out of people. And he's one of the people that are, causing people to run to the grocery store and buy every single thing on the shelf so that, everybody's locked down, because everybody's locked down for the next six months or whatever. Could that happen? It could is the operative word. Could. But right now, the way things are looking, that it's not likely. It's just not likely. I that's fine if you disagree, Karen. I that's fine. But no, I don't have a look at. I'm not a doctor, but I'm looking at facts and reality. China is on the downside. South Korea is on the downside. Italy is now on the downside. We're at 16,000 deaths worldwide. And China is already on the downside. Listen, just, take in reality for a second. We're at 16,000 deaths worldwide. The first countries that had, serious issues with it are already starting to go down in number. And, there could be some places that get hit very badly. Germany is saying that it's already kind of flattening the curve, or they're already kind of getting a handle on it. I'm just saying, look at reality. Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. The numbers will tell you where we are at and where we are going. If you look at the numbers, go to worldometers and look at the coronavirus. Oh, I said it. Dang it. Go to worldometers and look at the numbers. Don't listen to Chris Martenson scare the shit out of you. Because he's scaring the shit out of you. And it's not really, there's a difference between being cautious and taking precaution and doing everything that you can in the face of this, and being panicked into, being sold something that you don't need to be sold. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if people are saying, if the government is, if some people are telling you like, oh my God, 10 million people are going to die. We've got to lock down the country for the next 8 months and we need martial law. That we don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. Okay? You don't want the panic to ramp up so high that people are willing to do anything that the government tells them that needs to be done. Right? Like martial law for the next year, or suspending all your civil rights, or suspending habeas corpus. You don't want that. That's bad. That's a bad deal. So there's a line between, taking precautions, medical precautions, and being safe, and, wearing a mask and getting ventilators made and, getting medical supplies to people and being in quarantine. That's totally reasonable. But there's a point at which it goes way out to crazy land. Don't go to crazy land. You don't need to do that. Yeah, the dude, I agree. 16K total worldwide so far. Logical errors exist on either side. Yes. But what I'm saying, the thing that I'm saying is this. It's already on the downside in other countries. It's on the downside. So what I'm saying and what I've been saying for the last couple of days is like, it's on the downside already. And, if we do, take the right precautions and the right steps, et cetera, and we get to a place where the curve starts going down, right? Then that's called, to the end. That's called going to the end of this. Not like it's going to keep going for 8 months and 10 million people are going to die. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the governments of the world are not going to not do anything. We're not going to just sit around and not do anything. So, CB Unglesby, I agree with you. When people get those medical bills after this, that's going to kill lots more. I agree. The economic fallout from this could actually really take people out. Really take people out. And that's something to be completely panicked about and be afraid about, for sure. But so I mean, whatever. This is a debate, and we're probably going to continue having this debate. I'm just saying, like, look at reality. The reality is reality. This is happening in reality. That China is going down in cases. South Korea going down in cases. Proudhon just said Italy is going down in cases. They're going down. They're on the downside. They're on the downside of the curve. That's reality. That's really happening, okay? So, we're going up right now. They're going down. Eventually, we will go down. And if we reach 100,000 deaths, we could reach 100,000 deaths. But if everybody does the right thing, a million deaths aren't even going to happen. Aren't going to happen. But whatever. I'm just, I could be totally wrong. If I'm wrong, you all can come back and say like, I told you. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But right now I'm just talking about reality. I'm actually looking at numbers and the reality of the numbers. The numbers will tell you this is what's happening. All you have to do is look at the numbers, Don't read more into it than you need to. Yeah, I know. There's a lot in New York. Definitely. There's a lot. It can definitely get very bad here, but considering that, it certainly has all the makings of getting bad here. But considering that there's only 16K worldwide right now, even if it got, bad here, I still don't even see a million. I don't see a million. Even if it's bad. I don't see a million. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Kuro Hikes, I heard 10 billion people died. Haha. Let's see. But that, hey, I'm just putting it out there. There are things to be worried about and cautious about. There are other things that you should probably not take as true information. If Chris Martenson said 10 million people dying, I really don't know. I feel like that's somewhat disingenuous on his part because I don't know how you can actually I don't know how you can project that based on the numbers that are happening right now. I don't know how you can project that. Or unless you're projecting numbers that are based on nobody doing anything and everybody just going out and getting infected and not giving a shit, right? Everybody just running around, oh, this coronavirus isn't so bad, like that, that's whatever. But, it's not to say that it's not a bad situation. I'm not saying it's not a bad situation. I'm not saying that there are things that shouldn't be done. Let's move on to this other story just quickly. Floods kill 11 in Iran. They cannot get a break. Iran cannot get a break. They have a serious bug outbreak. They have economic sanctions that are killing people. And now they have a major extreme rain event, spring floods have caused damages to many urban and rural areas in several provinces of Iran, mainly in the southern parts of the country, and have killed at least 11 people as of Monday, as the rescue and relief operations are underway in the affected region. This is from today, and Nick Humphrey posted this. Heavy rainfalls over the past days have created flash floods and swollen rivers in several Iranian provinces, including Fars, Bushehr, Hormozgan, Kerman, and Sistan, and Baluchistan in the southern parts of the country. Floods have also inundated the residential areas in the northern province of Gilan, Kogaluye, and Boyer Ahmad province in the west, the central province of Qom, and the northern province of Golistan. According to local reports, 5 people have lost their lives in the Fars province as the result of flooding, while 2 others have been killed in Kangong in the coastal province of Bushehr. This is amazing that they're going through so many trials and tribulations. I feel for the people of Iran. They are getting it from every single side. Well, yeah, so Guyo Smith, good point. Half this country is fat, high blood pressure, diabetic, old. It might happen with the help of climate chaos. I mean, if you want to mix in, maybe a spike in temperatures due to lack of global dimming, then we have a whole other situation. Well, so speaking of the exponential function, the dude, somebody posted up an interesting map of the U.S. Where is it? Somewhere in here. I'll post it in the description box. But basically, they're talking about what the cases will look like if no action is taken in the next few days. So basically, it's called the point of no return map. So basically, we have a point of no return, which is between March 24th and March 29th. So in the next 5 days, this is for California, and all of the other states look exactly alike. So it's all the same. If we do no action at all, then we're going to get 800,000 cases in the next month. So that's no action at all. That's no action at all, which we're already taking action. So that's not going to happen. So 3 months of social distancing, which is kind of what we're doing now. We'll call that what we're doing now. We're looking at 300,000 cases by May, which is a lot of cases. So it's kind of what we're doing now. And in 3 months of shelter in place, so that's what they're urging. They're urging a shelter in place immediately, because if we shelter in place for 3 months, then we get literally 10,000 hospitalizations. 10,000. Sorry, hospitalizations. So not cases, hospitalizations. So no action, 800,000 hospitalizations, almost 900,000. Shelter in place, 300,000 hospitalizations, 350,000. 3 months of social distancing, 3 months of shelter in place, 10,000. So a serious difference in whether we social distance, shelter in place, or take no action. There's a huge difference. Right? So, and that's what I'm saying. What I was trying to say is that, I think the worst case scenarios might be, might be feasible if there was absolutely no action at all. Right now, what we're experiencing right now in California is basically a combination of shelter in place and social distancing. So they're telling people shelter in place. A lot of people are social distancing. There seems to be a mix of both, right? So we're kind of doing a half in between. And they may ramp it up to more of like shelter-in-place orders. Some places are doing that. If we do that, if we do take the proper response to the bug, then we're looking at, being pretty much past this by May and June. So, contemplative pragmatist, hello. That's all I'm saying. Do the right thing. Do the right thing, and it's really, we'll keep it at bay. Very much so. John Lundqvist, no million death happening unlikely. It's totally unlikely. It's very unlikely, given the things that are going on. Here's another scenario where I could see maybe a lot of deaths happening, which is if we have like an economic collapse on some level, and we can't get people the medical help, right? So if there's like a situation where the economy collapses to such a point that we can't actually make protective gear, or there's, the hospitals are in some way overwhelmed, by the cases that they're getting, and things just, if there's some kind of like collapse scenario, then it goes crazy and everybody gets it. But I don't see it. I just don't see that. Personally, I don't see it. But I agree. Contemplative pragmatists, lift the sanctions immediately. I really wish that the Democrats were pushing for that to be part of some kind of government response, that they start lifting sanctions on almost every country, because every country is seeing hardships because of this, but especially Iran. Proudhon says Iran government has long claimed U.S. is waging weather warfare against it. They have been claiming that. They also have claimed that this bug is also weaponized. Jody Connolly, floods in Oman, Brazil, Indonesia, and the UK. Thank you. Thank you for that info. That's, yeah. Basil, lots of flower bringing, slow singing. Biggie Smalls, yes. John Lundqvist, USA is going to be much worse than Italy. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Right now, our death to case ratio is not big at all. Not as big as Italy's. Italy has a huge death to case ratio, and I don't know why that is. They've been trying to figure out why that's happening, attributing it to a lot of smoking, apparently. But the U.S. doesn't have the death to case ratio that Italy has. Not right now. Not yet. The dude, yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of that happening. 20-somethings at my work are driving to Idaho every night so that they can go to bars. Yeah. They are assholes. That is stupid. Just, don't be complete dicks about, like, I'm not going to get it. I'm fine. Like, that's not the way you want to approach it. That is not the way you want to approach it at all. Like, not at all. Like, take this seriously. Take this very seriously. Because with no action, as this website states, if there's no action, or if you flaunt these, the self-quarantine rules, then, like, yeah, you're driving up the likelihood of catching it and giving it to other people, which is fucking stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. The dude says another one is home with a fever after coming back from a trip to Hawaii last week. Wow. Worked a couple of days first, of course. Wow. Yeah, I mean, in general, every country and people in general have been slow to react to this. So, again, it's hard to really like place blame, and I think that's really like lame to start placing blame on Certainly, once you know that there's a threat, you should be acting on it. But, China acted slowly. They totally acted slowly. The U.S. acted slowly. A lot of countries, didn't take this seriously at the beginning. And a lot of people are not taking this seriously at the beginning because you don't really know how serious it is. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, wow, this is serious. I was working up until like a week ago, or, a little over a week ago, 10 days ago, I was working, like, like nothing was happening. And then things started ramping up, and I was like, yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. Prud'homme, remember the panic of the post 9/11 anthrax attacks, made in the USA but justified wars which cost millions of lives and lots of fossil fuel consumption. And that is the thing that we really need to worry about, because, beware the fine print, and beware the justified actions in the face of the panic that the government is going to try and take. We already see that they're trying to do that. The Trump administration is already trying to impinge on your civil rights and keep people locked up indefinitely, and justify it with this emergency situation. That's what we don't want. We don't want that. That's not justified. Natural Progressive says, I will discuss this tonight. I have so many opinions, even more questions. Yeah, the dude, I hear you. People are entitled selfish assholes. They refuse to listen. I'm a tad pissy about it at the moment. Just, yeah, we got to really encourage everyone around us to take this seriously and to stay at home and self-quarantine and, take the proper steps. The cops are always after me. Oh, really? Gaio Smith, Hawaii is shut down, no more tourists, period. Wow. Wow. Okay. Good to know. I didn't know that. I knew that they were probably going to start shutting down air travel. Especially probably in and out of Hawaii, but exactly, natural progressive. And I've seen a lot of people on my social media feeds saying, like, please everybody just do the right thing and don't be stupid and don't, make this go any longer or harsher than it needs to, right? Because if everybody is out flaunting the stay-at-home orders, and then you create a situation where the government or the police are forced to start, pulling people over or sending people home, whatever, giving people tickets, giving people fines, etc. And you ramp up the response to it, which is not, if people would just listen and stay at home and do their part, then we wouldn't have to go, way out of control with having to take all these extreme measures to keep everybody inside. All right, Basil. Karen Daly, the U.S. isn't doing the contact part of this aggressively. No, they're not. They're not. There's a lot that is not being done. There's not a lot of testing going on. They're just now starting to kind of put the pieces in place to be able to test people and get people help, but it's very slow, indeed. Indeed. Yeah, I don't want to lock down myself. I don't want an enforced lockdown. I just want people to do what they need to do the right thing. Voluntary self quarantining, and everybody, just ride it out. Just just ride it out. Peak prosperity, hawking gold now. Yeah, See, Chris Martenson is a person that's popular on the economic doomer sites, right? There's the economic doomers that are always trying to sell you like prep stuff and gold and silver and like, and they're he has supporters, people that support his channel, and rightly so, because he has good information and he's a smart guy, and I like what he does. But I have to say that on the level of scaring the shit out of people, that's not really cool. To really scare people that badly, I don't agree with that. Anyways, guys, I have got to sign off. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I am not going to do a live stream tonight, which Natural Progressive is going to be on tonight, doing her stream. I will be back tomorrow morning, and I hope you all enjoy your time indoors and be good to each other online and in person. And I appreciate you. Until the next time, peace.